You better figure it out.
We are here. Hey guys,
Oh.
Thank you for joining us. If you are joining us, we're going to do a pre-show. Roll it for about 3 minutes. Let YouTube do its thing. Actually, hopefully, it will alert people that we are going live. And we're here to talk today about how to sell your house without a real estate agent. Yes, it does happen. It can happen if you take our advice. Anyway, listen to the show today. It's jam-packed. At the end of the show, we've got some really bad MLS photos that we're going to show you. Some of them are actually pretty comical. But actually, you know what? Interest rates are at a 9-month low right now. 4.45% is the national average for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. That is really cheap money. I know a lot of people think that's higher than what it has been in the past couple of years, and it is. But I remember Cindy and I bought our first house in 1999 at 7% interest, and at the time, that was like an incredible interest rate.
That's pretty good back then.
4.45, if you think about it, is really, really cheap money. If you have to get a mortgage, that's a really good rate to have to pay. I remember, I don't remember because I wasn't involved in it. I'm not that old yet. I wasn't selling real estate in the 80s, but I hear they were up around 18% in those days. Of course, houses were only about, a high-end house was probably $90,000, $100,000 back then, but times have changed. But 4.45% for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage is an incredible rate. You know what, last year, and that's down because last year the Feds actually raised interest rates 4 times.
Yeah, they did.
So to have it be down, I don't know if it's got something to do with the government shutdown or whatnot, but they anticipate that mortgage applications will rise about 20% because the interest rates drop back to 4.45. So get out there if you want to buy a house. Now's a great time to do it because I think after the government shutdown thing is over, you may see them start to tick back up again. And they may never get back to this low again in our lifetime. So enjoy it while you can. So 3 o'clock, welcome to the show. This is episode 4
of
our series here. And we do a YouTube live every Thursday. Well, we try to anyway. This is episode 4, how to sell your home without a realtor. And today's episode is about getting your house ready for market. We already talked about how important it was to have a pre-listing home inspection. We talked about preparing your house inside, preparing your house outside. And then we also talked about the importance of professional home staging or a professional home staging consultation. So now we're assuming in this episode that all that is done. We want to talk about the importance of photos. And I'm not just talking about any type of photo. I'm talking about professional photos. Okay?
So we actually have 3 basic tips today, and this is going to be short, sweet, and to the point today.
But wait, stick around because...
Oh, what? Yeah.
Yes. At the end of the show, I'm going to show you some really, really bad real estate marketing photos.
Not our photos.
Some that I've collected over the years. Because this is, every day I look at expired listings, houses that come off the market unsold, and I look at the photos, of course, and the really cool ones or funny ones or bad ones I like to save, and I've got a really big collection. I'm not going to show them all to you, but I'll show you some of the best. So stick around for that. By the way, we're here answering your questions live. If you have a question about real estate, feel free to type it in the chat box. If you're watching this as a replay, put it in the comments section if you're watching on YouTube, or you can email us or PM us. It's really easy to get a hold of us. Just search Mike and Cindy Jones Realtors in Jacksonville. We're all over the place. So we're here to answer those questions for you, but on with the show.
Okay, so number 1 is get professional real estate photos. And what does that mean?
Well,
what is professional real estate photos?
There's a lot of real estate agents out there, I hate to say it, and there's a lot of people that try to sell their house on their own. I can tell, I can look in Zillow and look at the photos. They're terrible. Don't use your phone. I know phones have come a long way. You can take some really good pictures, but if your real estate agent pulls out, and this is not about using a real estate agent, but if your real estate agent pulls out a cell phone to take photos of your house for marketing, fire them right now. Kick them out of the house, tear up the paperwork, and get them gone because it's not going to work. Also, too, when we say professional photos, we mean a professional photographer. I'm actually pretty good at taking photos. I've got some very expensive camera equipment, but you know what? I decided a long time ago that it wasn't worth my time trying to get the pictures right. It's been worth every bit of money I've ever spent hiring a professional real estate photographer to do my listings for me. And I'll show you some examples of some of those photos towards the end of the show as well. But you can't just hire any photographer. I mean, there's photographers out there that are really good at taking pictures of babies. There's photographers that can take really good landscape photos, portrait photos, wedding photos. But they're most likely not going to be adept at taking real estate photos. And I'm not necessarily talking about outside. I'm talking about inside.
Both.
You need someone that specializes in real estate photography to take your photos because they know angles. And they've got to have a wide angle lens. Most photographers shooting on a regular basis who don't do real estate probably don't carry around a wide angle lens. It's probably not something that they use a lot. They're very expensive. They can be. I've got one that cost $650 10 years ago, so they've gone up since then. But you want a real estate photographer because our guy is fantastic. He knows how to use things to bounce light, and he can get. And one of the things is if you take an interior shot, and you've got windows in the room, you want to be able to see the outside or the view through the window at the same time, get the inside properly lit for the photo.
Not easy.
And I have tried to do that, and I can do it with enough time. But like I said, we've hired out every one of our listings. We hire out professional photographers, real estate photographers to do our photos. And it's very important that you do the same.
All right. So, so like Mike says, they use angles and lighting to showcase your house in the best light, no pun intended. Anyway, so number 2 is don't take too many photos, and don't take photos of absolutely everything in your house. Leave something for the imagination for when the buyer gets there.
Well, there's a lot of truth to that. I've seen houses, unless you have like a mega mansion, the Playboy Mansion just sold recently, or a year or two ago, something like that. I was listening to a podcast today, sold for $105 million. It was the first house to sell over $100 million in Los Angeles. Anyway, I'm off track there. That house right there, you could justify taking a lot of photos. I mean, I imagine it's very huge. There's all kinds of rooms. But listen, most real estate that we deal with on a regular basis, especially here in Northeast Florida, 20 to 25 photos max. Okay? Unless you have, like a 2 million, million and a half, great big house here, I would never go more than about 25 photos. And here's why. Well, first off, we need to go back to number 1. The reason that you want professional photos is curb appeal. Curb appeal is different in today's world. The internet is 98% of people looking for homes start their search online. So curb appeal today is a digital curb appeal. You still have the traditional curb appeal where people pull up to the house and they see, the grass is nice and there's flowers and everything looks real nice. That's still just as important, but that curb appeal is when they get to the house. We've got to get them from their couch or from their computer to come see your house. So digital curb appeal is why you need professional photos. There is a lot of noise out there. There's tons of houses for people to choose from. You have to do something to set yourself aside from all the other noise. And you do that, the best way that you can do that is through professional photos. So going back to now, why you don't want to have too many photos is a bad thing. What you've done with the photos is you get people off the couch or out from behind their computer to come and see your house. You want them to not have all the information before they get there. Here's what happens. I have seen agents put, 60 photos on a 2,000 square foot house. They take pictures of the faucets, the light fixtures. They take, 10 pictures of the outside of the house and just drone photos, and it's just absolutely ridiculous.
Over the top, too many.
You want just enough to have people come in. Most of the time, I mean, well, it really depends on how many photos I have. I won't put bathrooms or certain bedrooms in my listing photos, because if I meet the 20 to 25, now I've got them. If I do my job right, they're going to come see the house based on the photos they saw, and now they're going to discover more, right?
Yeah.
So if I take photos of the lighting fixtures and the ceiling fans and the the faucets and the bathroom drawers and all that stuff, now they've seen everything that they can possibly see online, and when they get to their house, there's nothing new to discover.
Right.
We've talked about before how we wanted to do a show about how you set expectations for a buyer before they come to your house, and when they get there, if you lower or if you diminish their emotional being,
to the house, yeah.
then you're not going to get an offer on the house. So what you want to do is get the really good photos, 20 to 25. Let them come and discover something. If you have brand new faucets or the newest kitchen faucet that that you can touch it and turn it on, let them discover those things.
Absolutely.
If you have a great big pantry, don't put a picture of your pantry on the MLS or any advertising that you do if you're selling without an agent. Don't put those on. Let them come and open that pantry door and go, wow, this is a big pantry.
Right.
Wow, look at everything that I can put in here. This is what you want them to do. You want them to like the home enough to come see it in person. When they get there, you want them to shoot up with their emotions because they're finding things about your house that they didn't know online. So this is why it's important not to have too many photos, and I see it time and time again. Like I said, every week I look at expired listings, houses that have been on the market for sale and did not sell, and there's a lot of them that just have way too many pictures. I've seen agents pull the drawers out in the kitchen and take pictures of the open drawers. I'm like, why would you do that? Taking pictures of the inside of the dishwasher, it's just insane. Don't do that. Too many. Less is more in this case.
Right.
So 20 to 25, cap it.
I wanted to welcome Matt to the show.
Hey, Matt.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you for watching.
He's selling by owner.
Awesome.
One of the things that I can say is it's like if you've watched, I'm sure you've done this, we've done this many times before, you've seen a trailer of a video and you can't wait for it to come out. A trailer for a movie. You can't wait to go see the movie and it's going to come out in the theater. You're going to watch it and you come out and you go, the trailer was better.
So they put all the good parts in the trailer.
All of the good parts or the best parts are in the trailer. So that's similar to what we're talking about. Let them discover things as if they're opening up little Christmas presents throughout the house. So when they get there, they go, oh, they got this, and oh, I didn't know about this extra room, and oh, I didn't know that. Oh my gosh. They keep that emotion, and it's not only stays right here, it goes up, which is even better, y'all.
That's the that's the game. That's the game that we play.
Yeah.
We want to give them enough information online to either make them call and ask more questions, or best of all, come and see the house in person. When they get there, we want their expectation to go higher, not lower from what they've seen online. Does that make sense? I hope it does.
Okay. So pretty much the third tip is, don't put your house online for sale until you have all of the photos ready. And there's a reason we don't do this here, and that is because of the MLS.
Well, here's what happens. And I'm talking as an agent's perspective. If you're selling your house by owner, you just want to make sure that before you put it online and put it out there for the world to see, that you have everything ready.
Ready to go.
Photos especially. Like I said, 98% of buyers start their search online. They're going to reject your home if they don't see photos. And they need to be good photos. That's the whole point of this episode, is why you need good photos. If 98% of buyers are starting their search online, and there's how many houses right now for sale in Jacksonville?
Thousands and
just
thousands.
Single family homes, 10,000, 11,000, 12,000 homes for sale. There is a lot to look at, and if they don't like the photos that they're seeing, or they're looking at a listing that has no photos, they're going to dismiss it, and they're not going to go 2 days later, what about that house? Let me go back and see if there's photos. So when you go to put your house online, get all your photos and everything, your text descriptions, your advertising copy, all that needs to go in at one time, because there's a lot of sites, especially with us, when we put our listings in the MLS, those listings auto-populate to a bunch of aggregate real estate websites. And what happens, it'll go out like that day or at midnight. It'll grab all those new listings from the MLS that day, and it'll send them out to all those aggregate websites. And if I haven't uploaded the pictures, it goes to everybody who's got a saved search on all these different websites. It will auto send to them, and then they'll go open it up. Oh, a new listing. Oh, great. Oh, no photos. And then when the agent or you go put the photos in tomorrow or the next day, it doesn't resend. So there's a lot of agents right now we have
10,000 agents?
Close to 10,000 agents here.
In our area.
Some of them get so excited that they get a listing that they run back to the office, they put the listing in the system, and they schedule their photographer for next week. So it sits in the MLS, auto-populating to Zillow and Trulia and Realtor.com and point to listings, all those things without photos. And like I said, when they go put the photos in later, it doesn't resend it. So it's a big mistake that agents do all the time, and I don't want you to do it when you're trying to sell your house on your own. I know, and as much as you've heard me talk about it here, I've got a whole video about how Zillow's not the best place for you to advertise your home for sale if you're going for sale by owner, but I know you're going to do it anyway. Zillow's one of those things. If you put your listing on there and say, well, I'll come back tomorrow and put in the photos, it does the same thing. If someone had a saved search out there, it's not going to resend it to them once you update the pictures. Okay?
I do the same thing as a realtor when I have buyers that I'm working with and I know exactly what they're looking for. I'm going to the MLS. I'm looking for new listings that have just popped up because I want to send it to them and go, hey, you guys, you got to come see this house. And when I see one that has no photos or just a couple of the photos of the outside and it says photos coming soon, I'm like, great. Well, when are they? I mean, it goes in the back of my mind too, and then I kind of forget about it.
Yep.
So it does the same thing for me. It's not just for buyers, but that's how it works. So I think we have some awesome bad photos to show, and then some good ones.
Yes,
Okay,
but just to recap, you need to have photos. You need to have professional photos taken by a real estate photographer, not just any photographer. You want to limit your photos to 20 or 25. You don't need to show everything in the photos. You just need to intrigue people enough to either ask more questions by calling you or actually coming to see the house in person, which is the most important thing. If they don't come see your house, they're not going to sell it. The other one is, do not upload your listing to any sites, whether it's Zillow, forsalebyowner.com, militarybyowner.com. Don't upload to any of those sites unless you're ready to put the photos in the time you click go. Okay? So, what we've been waiting for.
On to some good, bad photos.
I have spent every day. I collect photos, and this is not all of them. I have a list of bad photos a mile long. But anyway, I'm going to show you some really bad photos, some really funny photos, and then I'm going to show you some of our listing photos that we had a professional real estate photographer come in and take. But these were actually, on for sale sites. Here's one of them. This was actually a photo someone put in the MLS trying to sell a home. Look, there's a fire, there's a little portable blowtorch there in the left-hand corner. All this junk and clutter. The teddy bear is kind of cute, but this is not going to make me want to come see this house. Will it make you?
Not appealing.
No. And by the way, these houses at the time that I saved these photos had not sold. Here's another one.
What are they
This
having?
is a bedroom, obviously, because there's a bed. But are they having a estate sale or a garage sale? I understand if you've got other things going on, but you should not put this picture in any advertising.
No.
None.
They're having a dish sale.
Here's another one. This is just somebody's bathroom.
There's no lights on in there.
No lights. Number one rule of photography, lighting. Real estate photography, lighting. Turn on every single light in the house.
Little rugs all over the place that don't showcase the nice tile floors. The towel that is stretched out as if someone took a shower and they're letting it dry out.
Something hanging on the door there like a purse.
Yeah, and no lights again. So
here's another one. Just the same thing. Just a lot of nothing. I don't know what this is.
Clutter in the corner of the tub
Not
there.
a very appealing picture. The angle's not right. The lights are off. Anyway.
Another bad rug. Oh, y'all, this is one of my favorite pictures. You can't see yourself there. Y'all, okay. If you've seen our past episodes,
Look at that photo.
If you've seen our past episodes, take everything that we have talked about in a house to showcase a house for a buyer. When I see this picture, I would think that this is a foreclosure. Y'all, this is not a foreclosed house. But what it reminds me of is when I was little, I would love to watch the things that would say, what does not belong in this picture? Yeah. I love those things. I want to ask y'all, what do you notice in this picture? What does not belong in this picture? This is hilarious. So basically, first of all, one of the first things I notice is there's no toilet seats on the toilet. None.
That's crazy.
They're not even just up. There's no toilet seats. Okay. There's no towel rack. The towel rack's missing. There's a broken cabinet door, and there's no handle on it. Y'all, this lighting strip is pathetic. Come on. What have we talked about? You have missing light bulbs. You have burnout light bulbs. How many different light bulbs?
They're not even all the same.
You got yellow light bulbs. You got white light bulbs. They're not the same. You got LED. Come on. This is not hard.
This is one of those that you could definitely just leave out of the listing.
Y'all,
but on the same token.
What?
If this was left out, people are going to come in, they're going to be disappointed.
Y'all, let me just let you know something. This house was listed at $339,000 in a very nice community.
And if you're listening anywhere other than Northeast Florida, our median price range is about $215,000 here in Jacksonville, Florida. So $339,000 is a little bit more of a expensive house.
So when I went and saw this house, now this house has been on the market for over 200 days, and there were 72 pictures. That is way too many pictures for this price point of a house. So as we were talking about, 72 pictures, my gosh, just getting to, we weren't even in the house yet. There was about 20 pictures of the front of the house, the side of the house, the lower picture, upper picture, the driveway, the pavers in the front. I'm like, get to the inside of the house, y'all. This is just my perspective.
Okay, moving on.
So that was 70, too many pictures.
Moving on. Here's one. This is why I love it when they got the seller in the photo. Look.
Relax.
There's a lot that is wrong with this photo. There's no wide angle lens. The lighting's bad. But God, get the seller off the couch and out of the way. It was actually an MLS photo, you guys. You can't make this stuff up. Next. How about clean the place up? I can't believe an agent would actually be so excited about a listing that they would take this picture and put it in the MLS.
The couch cushion isn't even pushed in all the way. Come on,
man. See, this is where agents, you have got to. I'm just showing this. This isn't really that. It's funny, but it's not funny because this happens all the time. I see it day in and day out, and I'm telling you guys, if you want to sell your house without an agent, do not post pictures like this. And I'm telling you, I look at for sale by owner listings all the time, and they're just as bad. Some of these may even be for sale by owner listings. Here's another one. You can't shut the door, the cabinets. And remember, I mentioned before, some agents pull out the cabinets and take pictures of the open cabinets. But, this is crazy. Moving on. Here's another one where you've got, I guess they're trying to showcase the island, maybe the granite. They could have waited till the seller moved out of the way right there. Okay. Here's another one. I love it when the agent taking the photo actually gets put into the photo by a window reflection, a reflection. And then it's funny too is they've got some cleaning solution sitting on the back of the toilet.
That's nice. Oh, I just want to say something. I don't know what Matt is trying to say. These weren't off of Zillow or Trulia. These are actual MLS photos. These were houses that were for sale. These aren't for rent or
these were for sale photos,
yes.
and some of them are off of Zillow. They're off of all kinds of different websites. Many are off the MLS. This is actually a for sale. This was a photo taken by I don't remember who, but this was on a website advertising a house for sale, and that's the whole point. Is we're talking about the importance of professional photography. Okay, now if this is the photo, imagine what it looked like when they came in to see it. Here's another one, an agent in the photo, and this is an agent. I can tell the way he's dressed. He just kind of threw his hand up in the air there and took the photo. You can see the reflection in the window or in the mirror. Funny. This is a classic right here. This one was actually in the MLS. I remember this one. It was from a while back, maybe a few years back. Just funny to me. I mean, the agent's taking a photo of the house to put it up for sale, and the lady has moved all of her furniture out so she can mop the wood floors. Now, I understand, doing this, mop the wood floors, but come back and take the photos when she's done and got all the furniture back in place. It's not that hard. Just don't run back to the office and put the listing in the system. Another one right here, these are, like I said, these are actual listing photos of people trying to sell their house. There's another one. You got Comet and cold medicine and Lysol and all that stuff on the thing. And look in the mirror up there in the left-hand corner. There's the agent in a suit taking the photo with his cell phone. This is one of those things I was just talking about. Oh, gosh, yeah. No. Moving on. Now this house, what do you see here that's funny to you? There's 4 tires sitting in the breakfast room.
Oh, and there's also a bicycle.
Well, I can understand a bicycle, but you got tires in here, and it's okay if this is the way you live. That's fine. I'm not downing anybody, but when you go to sell your house, like we've talked about in past episodes, you are listing a product. You're marketing a product.
Oh, the other thing I noticed is the fans are on.
The fans are on high speed in the picture.
Photographer would not have the fans moving at the moment the picture is taken. And remember, these are not foreclosures or investor houses. These are regular houses for sale. So.
Yep, this is another one. The dishwasher wide open. You got some peanut butter things here and just stuff all over the counters.
What I say is, did they not know they were coming to take pictures that day? Did they not know their house was for sale?
I don't know. I don't know if they knew they were selling it. I don't know. I have no answer. But this is how a real estate photo should look. This is how it should look. This house was taken by our professional photographer. Ours, the one that we use exclusively.
Yeah, exclusively.
He's fantastic. This is the way a real estate photo should look. Here's another one. These are all of our listings. This is the same house, just a different angle. You notice all the lights are on. We got the window blinds open. Everything's put up and put away, and it's staged very nicely. This is an excellent real estate photo. Here's another one of the outside of another house.
Yeah, no, different house.
Real estate guy, he stood on like a 15-foot ladder or something.
Yeah.
Took this photo and actually had an extension pole as well. I mean, our guy does a great job. And before he did it, he blew off all of the hard surfaces there.
Yeah, he actually, our guy, like I said, when we use people in town, we only use the best. He actually brings his own blower and blows off all the leaves and makes he's just great.
Moving on, this is another one that we had listed over there on the river, right down from the stadium. This is just one of the photos that's of this house. It's just he's setting a scene here. He's telling a story. It's just, here's a good place to sit and look at the river, the boats that are going by. Got binoculars sitting there on the ottoman. This is just a great photo. It makes people want to come see this house. Tell me it doesn't. If you were looking for riverfront property, this right here would get me there. Here's another one. Beautiful den here. The beautiful hardwood floors. The fire's actually going. And Cindy and I actually decided to get the fire going because right after our photographer leaves, we shoot video. So we had them go ahead and we did the fire up, and our photographer came in and took the photo. And here's another one of that same house. Beautiful photos. Can you see the difference between these and the ones that I showed you before?
You can see outside the window very nicely.
Yeah, outside the window. That's what I'm talking about. A real estate photographer can do this for you. Here's another house that this one actually we sold this one, and this one was on the market for 200 and something days with another real estate agent. We took the listing over. We got the professional photography and the video and the text descriptions and all that. And we sold this one in 42 days, I think.
Very short period of time.
Buyer was out from Arizona, saw it online, had to come see it. This is the kitchen in the same house. This is the owner's suite. See how the windows are, the curtains are open, the light, all the lights are on, even the light in across the hall there in the bathroom's on, because it all plays a part in lighting the whole scene. That's why I wanted to show this photo, because of that. And of course, here's the outside photo showing the pool.
That's nice.
That's the difference in professional photography. It makes a world of difference. And even if you can't get a professional photography, if you don't want to spend the money, it's going to hurt you. But you need to at least get you a wide angle lens, a really good camera like a Canon. I used to take, before I actually started hiring a real estate photographer, I'm actually pretty good at taking photos, and I've got a wide angle lens that I used to use, and a Canon T2i, I think, and a really nice flash. Put it on a tripod, turn on all the lights, turn off all the ceiling fans. You don't want anything moving in a picture because it causes a blur. And especially with real estate photos, you need to use a long shutter time or a delay, or you got to leave your shutter open a little bit longer. I'm not a photographer, so I don't know the thing, but so all that movement will do is create a blur, and you don't want that to happen. So you could actually just kind of do some research. If you insist on taking your own photos, at least take your time on each photo and make sure that it's something that somebody's going to want to see, or they're going to see it, and it's going to make them come see your house, because that's the name of the game. Now listen to me, there is a place, if you just go rent camera equipment on Google or rent lenses or something, you can actually rent the camera equipment, and you can rent it for a week or however long you need it. They'll send it to you and give you a box to ship it back when you're done. That you don't have to go buy expensive equipment. I recommend hiring a real estate photographer. Just Google real estate photographer in your town, and you will get some.
I see what Matt is saying here. In fact, we need to do an episode just on what he's talking about. People see Zillow and Trulia's houses, and then agents take them to another house. We actually already have.
Yes, Matt. If you'll look through my videos, I've got a video strictly on why Zillow is
not the best,
not a good place for sale by owners to advertise. And I'll just give you a real quick synopsis. If you want to look at that video, actually, maybe I'll go ahead and I'll link that up in here after this video processes.
That's a good idea.
I'll go ahead and link that link. I'll put that link in there so you can go see it. Anybody watching the replay can go watch that. Zillow makes their money. The majority of their revenue comes from selling leads to real estate agents and mortgage people. So they actually have feeds from every MLS in the country that automatically dump their listings into their system. And I don't know why we've let this come to this, but also they encourage people that want to for sale by owner or sell them on their own to list their houses on there for free. And here's what happens. A buyer goes on there looking at Zillow, and they click on a house they like, and they click on they want more information. The first thing they're going to see is 3 agents in a row, 1, 2, 3. If it's a for sale by owner house, it's going to be a little text at the bottom of that one that says owner. The problem is this is all defaulted to those agents who are paying for leads. They're paying Zillow to send them buyer leads. So if Zillow's not sending agents and mortgage people leads, Zillow ceases to exist. Do you understand that? If Zillow actually sends buyer leads to you and you haven't paid for the leads, that's a lead that they could be selling to an agent or a mortgage person.
It's
the name of the game for Zillow.
Actually, it's pretty bad. We
So
understand. Here's an example.
Now, don't get me wrong. You might get some calls, but you're gonna. If you look, there's 4 spots, and the first 3 are paying agents. These agents are paying Zillow to send them buyer leads. You're losing at least 75% of the buyers that would be looking at your house on Zillow.
I think we should actually do a live show about that. That way you can ask more questions. But let me just give you an example, Matt, especially since you brought that up. I know Ponte Vedra is a very nice high-end area here in Jacksonville. Agents pay and actually get they don't sell that zip code to everybody. They only sell it to 3 or 4 agents in the area. The agents pay $8,000 a month for that zip code.
And if they have, I think they limit it to 4 agents or something.
Only so many agents.
But 4 agents paying $8,000 a month for 1 zip code.
And so those agents will scroll through when buyers are looking for that particular zip code. So $8,000 a month. If those agents aren't gaining something from that, then Zillow loses those agents. They don't renew that.
Absolutely.
The membership or whatever.
Cindy and I, we have never paid for Zillow leads. We never will. We know that that's not the best. Those aren't the best leads anyway.
No.
The fact is that most of the people that are looking on Zillow, they are not ready to buy. There's a lot of reasons why it's not. And as we move forward with these episodes, we're going to show you some advertising venues that you can use, free and paid for, that are better than Zillow. That's going to get you better quality leads. Yep. We do it all the time when we list homes. We have a whole marketing plan that we use. It includes pay-per-click marketing on all kinds of sites: Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, Google, just Facebook, all those places. And you can do it for free and you can do it pay-per-click. But we're going to show you some of those things. As a matter of fact, I think there's an old video, and because Facebook changes so much, it may not be true or exact anymore, but it will give you an idea of how to advertise a house on Facebook. But you'll just have to kind of look at that, get the idea, and then go to Facebook and get used to the new interface. But it's the same concept.
We're going to be showing you how to do that.
But in future episodes, we're going to be showing you, because once we get the marketing down, the photos, next week we're going to talk about ad copy and why that's important, and then we're going to start showing you where you can start marketing your house at. Okay? So we hope you enjoyed the show. As always, we're here. If you have questions during the week, feel free to put them in the comment section below. We will check. I get the comments, and we'll answer you right then and there, or we'll do it in a future episode. We are glad to have you. And follow me on Instagram, Mike Jones Jax, JAXFL. I post a lot of cool stuff there, and we'll see you next week right here at 3 o'clock.
Thank you for joining us. See you next week.